Hello. Okay, getting everything set up. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lindsay Silbert, and I'm one of Merit's yoga instructors. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to go through a 60-minute Yin Yoga class, and we're going to focus on the hips. So what you will need today is you will need either a blanket or a towel. You will need a pillow and either two paper towel rolls, or you can grab blocks. You can use textbooks, and that should be about it. If you want to grab extra props, extra pillows, extra blankets, perfectly fine. The more the merrier. Whatever you don't use, you can just kind of keep to the side of the mat. So go ahead, get all your props, and when you are ready, we are going to start seated on our mat. And what I would like you to do when you come to seated is take your towel or your blanket and you're going to kind of fold it up so you create a little bit of ledge to sit, a little bit of a ledge to sit the hips up on. So when you're ready, you are going to come to seated on that. Slip this right under the hips. Glad I have some paper towel rolls. Just spilled my water, so that came in handy, didn't it? All right, here we go. That's why you should close the lid on your water bottles. All right, so come up to seated on that ledge. And you just want to kind of sit the sitting bones right on the edge of it. So most of the legs are off, so really just the sitting bones come up on there. And we'll just start here today. So begin with the palms either face down or face up on the lap. And we'll just begin to connect in. So in our yin practice, we will be holding postures for several minutes at a time. You want to be mindful that you're only coming into about 50% of your maximum. So I'll remind you as we go through, but you want to find that 50% edge, and then you want to pause there and prop up the body so you can really release and relax into the hips and some other areas in the body as well. So we'll get started now. So again, just close the eyes. Take a scan through and just notice how you're feeling today. Notice the physical sensations. Notice how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. Then begin to relax the body. Bring the awareness to the forehead and the brow. And relax those areas. Soften the muscles around the eyes. Relax the jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Allow the shoulders to sink, creating lots of space around the neck. The arms relax, wrists, hands, fingers. Relax through the lower back, the belly. The connection of the hips on the mat or the blanket. Soften into that area. Legs are heavy and relaxed. And allowing gravity just to soften the body, releasing any tension that you become aware of. Now focusing on your breath, watching as it comes in, watching as you breathe it out, noticing all sensations as you draw the air in, and as you release the air out. So in yin, we take more of a passive breath. So if you are used to practicing Ujjayi pranayama, you can begin that. Make it a passive constriction in the back of the throat. The breath will make a slight sound, but just a quiet inhale and exhale. If you don't practice Ujjayi pranayama, just any breath that's comfortable. In and out through the nostrils, if that feels good in the body. I invite you to take a moment here to set your intention for today's practice, which is a nice way to connect in, make the practice a little bit more personal. As we work into the hips, a lot of us hold lots of tension and emotion there. So maybe just intending to be open and see what comes up. It can also be really powerful to keep a little journal next to you when you're doing a yin practice and just jot down whatever it is that comes into the mind. A couple long, slow breaths here. Then we'll blink the eyes open. Before we move into our first posture today, we're going to do some pranayama, some breath practice. We are going to take alternate nostril breath. So how it works is you're going to keep your left hand on your left knee. I'm actually not going to mirror you because I know I'll mess it up if I do. So left hand on the left leg. And you're going to take your right, and you can really use any fingers. I like to close off the right nostril with the right thumb. And what you're going to be doing is breathing in through one side, holding out through the other side. So I'm going to walk you through it. So start by closing off the right nostril with the right thumb. And you'll take an inhale. And then plug up the left nostril. I like to use my pointer or any other finger. Pause with both sides plugged up. And then you'll exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Close that off. Pause. Hold the breath in. Exhale through the left. We'll do several rounds of these. Inhale through the left. Pause. Hold both. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. Pause. Hold them both. Exhale left. Inhale left. Pause. Exhale right. Inhale through the right. Pause. Exhale through the left. A little bit deeper now. Big breath in through the left nostril. This time close it off and then gently drop the chin to the chest as you pull in the belly and lift the pelvic floor muscles. Pause. And then release, exhale through the right. Long, slow, smooth exhale. Long inhale through the right. Hold them both, same thing, chin to chest, belly in, lift the pelvic floor muscles. Hold here for a moment. Release out the left. One more breath. Big breath in through the left. Last round of these. Pull all the way up. Pause when you get to the top. Drop the chin, pull the belly, lift the pelvic floor. Release, exhale out through the right. Last side here. Big breath in through the right. Pause at the top, hold chin to chest, belly in, lift the pelvic floor muscles. And then release out through the left. And then release the right hand down. Take a moment just to notice how you feel. You might need to wipe your nose off. The alternate nostril breath is said to even out the oxygen to both sides of the brain. Also helps to just relax the body. All right, let's blink the eyes open. Let's switch the cross of the legs. That's also a great practice to do before you're going to bed or anytime you just need to kind of focus in. We'll bring the hands to the knees and we'll take some seated cat-cow. As you inhale, pull the heart forward, lift the chin as you arch the back. And then as you exhale, round the spine, pull the belly in as you drop the chin to the chest. I'm going to turn sideways, so keep moving. Inhale to wheel the heart forward. Really feel the stretch through the whole front of the body. And as you exhale, round in. Belly firm, chin to chest. Let's take 3 more cycles, moving with your own pace of breath. As you inhale, see if you can press the shoulder blades into the back of the heart, lifting up. And then exhale as you drop the chin to the chest, really pull the belly in and up. Last one here, just a little bit of movement. All right, good. Come on up. So we're going to stay seated on that blanket, and we're going to come into butterfly pose. This will be our first true yin asana, our yin posture. All right, so soles of the feet together, but we're going to shift the feet a little forward. So we've got a nice wide diamond shape. And what you're going to do is you're going to come forward and then you're going to rest down. Now you want to use your props here to rest the forehead comfortably. So play around with it. Now, if you've got the flexibility, maybe you take your pillow and your paper towel roll and you come all the way in. Or if you have a little bit of less space to work with, you can just kind of stack things up and create yourself whatever it is that is going to feel good and allow you to come down into the appropriate place. So again, come forward, find that edge where you're about 50% of the way in, and then we'll just soften into it. We're going to be here for about 3.5 minutes. So get comfortable. And once you are, just allow everything to rest. So really releasing any effort. And I'll let you know when we're about halfway in so you can make any adjustments you need. And if it's possible, see if you can flip the palms up. And just breathe here. Again, in our yin postures, we hold them for several minutes at a time. Really helps us to get into our connective tissue in the body. So beyond just the muscles, it gets into our fascia, which really helps with our flexibility, range of motion. And once you find the place that feels good, see if you can find stillness. Again, make any adjustments you need, but once you find that place, just aim to breathe here. Notice where you can release tension in the body. Wherever you feel the stretch, see if you can really send the breath there. Softening the shoulders. Relax the jaw. We're about halfway done. So if you want to come in deeper, maybe you lower the support under the forehead, or maybe you come out of it. Just switch it up to come in a little deeper. Last couple minutes here. Just keep coming back to the breath over and over again, noticing when the mind has wandered. Noticing the sensations in the body, never with judgment. Take the deepest breath you've taken all day. You gently begin to lift yourself back up. Move the props to the side. All right, coming out of this just as slowly as we came in. So bring the hands outside the knees, gently bring them together. Plant the soles of the feet down, hands come behind, and just swivel the legs a little from side to side. And then we'll cross the ankles, roll over the legs, and come into a tabletop. So move your blanket, whatever else you got, out of the way for a moment. Come onto hands and knees. And we'll just take some big body circles here. So I made a little bit of a wider tabletop, so my hands are a little bit in front of my shoulders. And then reach the hips back to the right, over to the left, up to the left hand, over to the right. Just some big full body circles. If you prefer, you can do some cat-cow here. Find a spot that feels nice. Pause, rest. Take one more circle in this direction. And then we'll pause and bring the hips back to the left, over to the right, up to the right hand, and over to the left. And again, making some big hip and body circles here. Closing the eyes and just moving with the breath. Doesn't matter when you're inhaling or you're exhaling, just as long as you're breathing. One more in this direction. Into the hips a little here. All right, next pose is going to be a wide leg child pose. So bring the big toes to touch. Walk the knees to the width of the mat. And we're going to be sending the hips back to the heels and coming into a child's pose. Now, if this bothers the knees, take a towel or blanket and place it between the knees and the shins, or you can also tuck the toes and come back like that. All right, now we're going to support the belly. So grab whatever it needs you need. We're going to be here for a little over 2 minutes. So we're going to kind of support the torso, and that way we can come down and rest in. So a little bit of a different type of child's pose than we're normally used to taking. Really just allowing the belly to be heavy and breathe here. With the knees wide in a child's pose, it really helps us to get into the hips. Again, that's what we're going for today. If it feels good, you can even flip the palms up and rest here. And another minute, so if you would like, you can maybe even move some of the props and come in a little deeper, lower all the way down. Notice where the mind is. Feeling more deep breaths here. slowly begin to walk the hands back in. Come on up. We are going to move into our next pose, which is going to be dragon pose, which if you're familiar with lizard in our yang practice, it's very similar to that. So we're going to come up to hands and knees, and I want you to take some time to get comfortable here. We're going to step the right foot forward, and we're going to heel toe the right foot out to the side so both hands come inside the right foot. And then lots of different options. If you want, you can let the right knee go out to the right, and let me just kind of show you from the front. So if the right knee wants to go out to the right, you can let it, but let the toes go with it. Otherwise, you can keep the foot planted down. And we're going to be here for about 2.5 minutes. So you can either come up on the hands, you can bring the hands to something, and you want to find a little bit of relaxation in this pose. So if you can, if you have the flexibility, you might want to kind of pad yourself up with your props. So you can begin to come down into it a little deeper, and then maybe you grab your paper towel roll or whatever you got and rest your forehead down on that. So again, we're going to be here for about 2.5 minutes. Again, just begin to breathe. If you have to make any adjustments, do so now. Really use your props to allow you to get into the pose as deeply as what feels good. You can even have 2 pillows under the chest and the belly. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Part the lips and let them just hang. Send the breath wherever you feel the stretch. About halfway through, so make any adjustments you need. And deeper, or come out of it. Maybe you move some of the support and come down a little bit lower. Or maybe you walk yourself up and come out of it a little bit. Again, finding stillness when possible. Breathing through it. Deepest breath here. And then let's walk ourselves up. Begin to come on that back knee. We're going to come either back into a child's pose or into a nice restorative down dog. So either toes together, knees wide, and come on back in, or maybe you take a downward dog. So maybe you tuck the toes, lift the knees, but we'll make this restorative. So walk the feet wide, keep the knees bent, and just hold on to the side of the mat. And take a couple deep breaths here. So again, either child's or down dog. And it can also feel nice to play around with grabbing one of your paper towel rolls and just kind of, resting the head on it. Lots of great uses for props here. Take 5 more breaths. You're in down dog, set the knees down, and we'll move on to our dragon pose on the other side. So we'll step the left foot forward, heel toe the left foot out to the side. And again, you can stay up. You can find something to rest the forehead on. You can grab blocks, pillows, blankets, whatever it is. Make yourself whatever support you need. Like it's kind of getting all messed up, so whatever it is. And again, we're going to be here for a little over 2 minutes on this side. So make any adjustments you need, and then once you get settled, just let it all go. If the left knee wants to go out to the left, you can let the toes go with it. I find it really nice to rest the forehead on something. So if you can, see if you can just melt the head, relaxing the neck. Notice where you feel the breath. Notice where you feel the stretch and then send the breath there. Where are you holding tension? Relax in those places. About halfway through on this side, make any adjustments you need. Come in deeper, come out of it. Again, finding that stillness when possible. Breathing through it. And the full cycle as you inhale and as you exhale. Allowing gravity to pull you closer to the earth. Deepest breath here. And then slowly walk yourself up. We're going to take that down dog once again, or child's pose. So move your props to the side. Step the left leg back. Again, either big toes to touch, knees wide, hips back, or come on into down dog. And again, soft down dog, wide down dog. So separate the feet wide, separate the hands wide. Really just let the head hang. If you like resting it on something, go for it. Lengthening the spine. All right, we're going to come to the back of the mat. So if you're in down dog, just slowly walk the hands back. If you're in child's pose, you're just going to kind of crawl your way back. And we're going to come into a squat. So I'm going to demo, and I'm going to kind of face the side. So let me face the front first. Toes and knees are going to go out to the side. And if you're familiar with Malasana, that's essentially what we're going to take. We're going to come down into a squat, but lots of options. Now, if the heels lift up, I want you to roll up a towel or a blanket and place them underneath the heels. And I'm going to make this very restorative by sitting the hips up on my pillow and my blanket. So I'm going to take my pillow and kind of fold it in half. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So you want to get comfortable. Now, if it's comfortable just to rest in Malasana with the feet down and the hips up, you can do that as well. Otherwise, support the hips with whatever you need. So I'm going to put a blanket and I'm going to put a pillow under my hips. All right, so I'm more or less sitting down, but I'm going to bring my palms together in front of the heart. And only if it feels good, you could grab something and rest the forehead down. You might need to build it up a little bit. I'm just going to work here with the spine long, but do what feels best to you and best in your body. And if this does not feel good, you can sit down and take butterfly pose that we started with the soles of the feet together. So when you're comfortable, close the eyes. This is great, not only for the hips, but it's really good for the lower back too. And of course, if you need to come out, come out. Wide leg child's pose is a great alternative to this as well. See if you can use the upper arms inside the knees to draw them open. Maybe even relax the head down a little here. Moving out the breath. Halfway through here, if you want to work a little, you can always remove what's under the hips. Make this a little bit more intense. And I really advise to keep this as relaxing as possible. Although it doesn't feel like work, what you're doing in your yin practice is just as much work as what you would put into a vinyasa or a power class. Just a different type of work. Last minute here. Deepest breath. And slowly plant the hands. Come on forward. And let's take a child's pose here. And then if it feels good, maybe you keep the knees together or keep them wide. Just take a few breaths. And then we're going to come forward onto the belly. We're going to take one back bend. So not a hip stretch, but just make sure we got a well-rounded practice. All right, coming into Sphinx pose. So come on down. And just for a moment, stack up the hands and rest the forehead down. Widen the feet, toes out, heels in. Now, if this feels like enough of a back bend for you, you can stay right here. Otherwise, we'll come into Sphinx pose. So forearms down, elbows under the shoulders. Grab one of your paper towel rolls or pillow or whatever it is. Stack it up so you can rest your forehead down. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes. can, flip the palms, soften the shoulders. Gently press the pubic bone down. If this bothers the lower back, just come on down out of it or get those elbows forward. Relax all the muscles in the face. Just what's coming up. Last minute here. Deepest breath. And release whatever was under the head. Lower yourself back down. Stack up the hands once again. If you can remember, maybe other hand on top. And this time bend the knees and just let the feet glide from side to side. Move the hips a little from side to side. And then release the legs and flip onto the back. So just come onto the back. Do some hip stretches here. All right, so we're going to first either go into shoelace or thread the needle. So with thread the needle, you're going to cross the right ankle up and over the left thigh and either grab on behind the left shin behind the left thigh or the front of the left shin, or you can keep the legs down. Or you're going to take shoelace, crossing the right knee over the left knee, and then you're going to pull the legs in and you're going to hold on to the ankles. So whatever is the most comfortable, but you really want to maintain length through the lower back here. So if it's hard to relax the hips down, see if you can just find a place that allows you to do that. So we're going to be here for about 3 minutes on each side. Now, even though you're holding onto the ankles or the thigh or the shin, see if you can relax in as much as possible. So a little bit of arm strength, but just soften as much as you can. And if you've got the ankles, you can also play around with how wide you pull the ankles out away from the body. That can intensify the stretch as well. But again, maintain length through the spine. Sitting bones draw forward. And breathe. What can you let go? What can you release? Deepest breath here. And slowly release. Hook the knees in, rock a little side to side. Now, before we switch to the other side, we're going to do a half happy baby. So plant the left foot down. We're going to reach on the inside of the right leg and either grab onto the outer edge of the feet, hook the big toe, or you can grab the shin, the ankle. You can also grab the thigh and draw the knee down towards the mat that way. So whatever feels the best. We'll be here for almost 3 minutes, a little bit less than that. So while you're here, keep the left hip grounded. So if it feels like it's popping up, maybe you allow the left knee to fall out to the left a little bit. So whatever feels good. And again, using a little bit of arm strength, but softening as much as possible. It's one of those poses where when I'm in for a minute or two, I can almost feel my muscles shaking a little. And if that's the case, just breathe through it. Always, always come out, but if you can, find some stillness and breathe. Notice where the mind is. Continue to draw it back to the breath. As you settle in, deepest breath here. And then we'll release that. Hug the right knee in for a moment. Straighten the left leg out and just take some hip circles with that right leg. Just circling the knee in one direction and then circling the other direction. And then plant both feet on the mat. Just notice how the hips feel, left versus the right. And then we'll come on in for either shoelace or thread the needle on the left. So either left ankle up and over the right thigh. You can stay there. You can draw the legs in, back of the thigh, front of the shin, whatever it is. Or left knee over right knee. And you'll come into shoelace, grabbing onto the ankles or wherever else you can reach. And again, we'll be here for almost 3 minutes on this side. Just do a scan of the body. Make sure the lower back is pressing down. Relax what you can. And then find stillness. And watch the breath. Notice if there's any tension. Notice the sensations in the hips and anywhere else you feel the stretch. About a minute left here. Deepest breath. Release this. Plant the right foot and we'll come into our half happy baby on the left side. So bend the left knee, grab wherever, outer edge of the foot, big toe, ankle, shin, thigh, whatever it is. And come on in. And again, you can extend the right leg long if that feels good. It's a little too intense for me, so I'm going to keep that right knee bent. And I just like letting the right knee fall out to the side, counterbalance the left side. And if you're finding it hard to focus on the breath, maybe you rest the right hand on the belly. What can you relax? What can you soften? What can you allow to just melt? About another minute here. Deepest breath. Hug the left knee in, right leg straight. And again, make some hip circles. Circling the knee in one direction. Circle in the other direction. And then grab the right knee too, and you'll circle both knees out to the side. Big hip circles here to get into the hips and the lower back. And then change directions. Drawing the knees apart and then back together. All right, soles of the feet on the edges of the mat. So walk the feet a little bit wide, cactus the arms out. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let both legs fall, both knees fall to the left as you gaze off the right shoulder for a twist. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can place the outer edge of the left foot on the outside of the right knee. We'll just be here for about a minute on each side. So as you sink the right shoulder, maybe take the gaze off that shoulder as well. Spin the belly up and breathe here. Release this. Both knees back up. Then you'll pause for a moment to reset and then drop the knees over to the right as you gaze to the left. Same option if you want to go deeper. Place the outside of the right ankle on the outside of the left knee. Feel a little bit of stretch in the outer left hip. Round the left shoulder and gaze off over it. Breathe here. After your next exhale, slowly release. And you'll hug both knees in. We're going to set up for our final resting pose. And for this, we're going to take a supine butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. So what you're going to do is you're going to need your props for this. You're going to grab your blanket and you want to fold it up so you create a little bolster for yourself. So kind of like, just to lay the spine on. And if you want, you'll bring a pillow so you can set your head and grab your paper towel rolls. So you're going to rest your lower back down, reach your head back onto the pillow or whatever it is you've got, and you're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees open, and you're going to take the paper towel rolls and put them underneath the knees. So take a moment to get comfortable here. Again, this will be our Shavasana. If this is not comfortable for you, just come into any pose that is. You can just extend the legs out, let the feet flap open. arms by the side, or again, just anything that allows you to relax in. And then once you find that place, take a big inhale through the nose, fill all the way up. As you exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Quiet minds, quiet bodies, Shavasana, rest. Take a slightly deeper breath. Bring some movement back into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. If the knees are wide, draw the hands outside of the knees and slowly close the legs. Take a stretch here, arms overhead, legs forward. And then hug the knees in. It might be a little weird if you're on that bolster, but roll yourself off to one side. Pause here. Come back to your intention. Thank yourself for showing up today. Gently press your way up to a comfortable seated pose. Close the eyes. Rest the palms together in front of the heart. Notice how you feel in your body. Lift the heart, bow the head. Thank you all for letting me share my practice. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me for a hip-focused Yin Yoga class. I hope you enjoyed that. Next week for our Yin class, we'll be using the wall. So I'm super excited for that. It's an awesome prop to use. So set up your wall next Saturday at 11:30. And if you have any requests for future classes, please let me know. Again, my name is Lindsay. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you back soon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.